Terence O'Rourke, the Business Development Manager for LGC Group and Vice Chair of ESSNA. And we're going to talk a little bit about LGC and specifically their Informed programme today, but welcome, Terence.
Hi, Rachel. Thank you very much. Good morning as well. And it's great to be here representing LGC as ESSNA's Member of the Month.
So to start with, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be involved in LGC's global supplements testing and certification programs?
Sure. As you mentioned, I am LGC's Business Development Manager for their Informed programs and certifications. I've been working with LGC for about 10 years now, so I've been some good expertise in the industry. Prior to that, I worked in sports communications for about 10, 15 years. And one of my roles during that time was working for the World Anti-Doping Agency in Montreal. That is where I developed expertise on anti-doping and testing. And having returned from Montreal to the UK, that's when I joined LGC back in 2013.
Excellent. So before we start looking at LGC's supplement services, could you give us a brief overview of the company?
Sure. As the slide here says, LGC is a global leader in life sciences. The tagline for the company is "Science for a Safer World," and they provide a range of tools and solutions to help improve healthcare, to support the agriculture and food technology industry, and also the environment. Critically, LGC has more than 55 years experience of anti-doping. They have been testing supplements since 2007. They also are one of the world's leading laboratories for equine sports and horse racing. Indeed, they've been an Olympic testing laboratory for the last 2 Olympic Games. And they also have very good expertise in testing humans, as they were a WADA laboratory between 2004 to 2007. The WADA standards are that you cannot test humans for performance-enhancing drugs as well as supplements. So LGC made a commercial decision back then to relinquish its WADA accreditation and to focus on the supplements. But LGC has a very unique range of drug testing services that covers humans, supplements, and animal sports, and it very much is one of the leading laboratories in the world.
So, despite the disruptions due to the pandemic, the last 18 months have been an exciting time for LGC's supplements business. So, what's happened during this time?
It has. It's been a very exciting time, and there have been quite a few exciting developments within LGC. As you can see again from this slide, LGC now has a division called Assure, which offers a suite of solutions to help provide quality, safety, and authenticity of goods and services. Essentially, there are 4 business units within Assure. There's Axio, which does proficiency testing. There's BRCGS, which provides a range of standards and auditing. There's Safety 360, which is specifically for the food industry. And then there is Informed, which I'll go on to in a little while. But essentially, Assure serves more than 45,000 customers in 160 countries from 13 LGC locations around the world. So it's a very exciting time that we've been able to bring all of these different services under the banner of Assure. And what is, I suppose, specific to ESSNA and its membership is Informed, which is a unique range of testing and certification services. And these are specifically for finished products, so for the supplements brands, they're for the ingredient suppliers, and also for the manufacturing facilities. All of our testing and administration is performed in either the UK or in Lexington, where we have a lab in each location. Both of those labs are ISO 17025 accredited, and we test samples for more than 280 banned substances using the very latest instrumentation, LCMS and GCMS. And very recently, we invested more than £2 million into high-resolution accurate mass. So we have the very latest instruments to help support these services. And obviously what we test for is based on the prohibited list, the WADA prohibited list, which is updated every year. So another exciting development has been the evolution of our informed stable of certifications. As you'll see here on the left, it started off back in 2007, where the very first versions of informed sport and informed choice were launched. This was with the support of key members of the supplements industry, as well as stakeholders such as UK Anti-Doping, the Dutch Anti-Doping Authority, and other experts within the field. In 2012, we updated the logos to make them a little bit more user-friendly. So we had the middle version of Informed Sport and Informed Choice. And then most recently, we had a rebrand, which started in 2019. And you can see the very latest versions of our logos there. So these, again, were enhanced and slightly improved with the support of marketing experts to make them a little bit more suitable for on-product logo use and for use in marketing and websites, etc., etc. So that rebrand started in 2019, and then we had another major development in 2020, whereby we decided to create a little bit of division between what we now call the B2B focused certifications and the consumer focused certifications. We were finding that there was a little bit of overlapping between our customers who are the ingredient suppliers and the manufacturing facilities, and our customers who were the finished products brands using Informed Sport and Informed Choice. So as of early this year, we created 4 dedicated programs. We have Informed Ingredient for our ingredients and raw materials customers. We have Informed Manufacturer for our manufacturing facilities. And then we maintain Informed Sport and Informed Choice for our finished product brands. So far, this has proved to be very well received, and the feedback we've had from our customers has been very encouraging, because it creates distinct differences between the 4 programs, and it gives those different types of customers their own dedicated areas and dedicated programs. All of these are available now on a website called WeTestYouTrust.com.
Really interesting. So if we could take a little bit of a look at each of the programs in more detail, could you explain the principles behind the programs for the finished products? So that's Informed Sport and Informed Choice.
Yes, of course. First of all, we have Informed Sport, which is, I would say, our most widely recognized program. This is specifically for finished product brands that have a close association with elite sport and elite athletes. Informed Sport is based on the fundamental principle that we must test every batch of a product that has been certified, and that batch must be tested pre-release to market. So a brand with a certified product cannot release any batch to market until they have received a test from us that shows that it is negative. This is the most widely recognized program. It's very much global now, and we see it as the most robust because we have to test every batch. Why is it important? It's important because research, and there's been a lot of it over the last 10, 15 years, has shown that supplements can be contaminated with substances banned in sport. We know this from the research, but we also know it from the fact there are athletes out there who are still being sanctioned for failing a doping test, and they relate that to supplements on occasion. The causes of contamination can be from raw materials. This is where a product is using an ingredient which unfortunately may be contaminated. It can happen through cross-contamination within a manufacturing facility. So if that facility is, for example, manufacturing a medicine or a pharmaceutical type product, the ingredients used in those products can quite easily contaminate the supplements. And we also know it can happen through what we call adulteration. This is where disreputable brands will use a banned substance in their products because they know there is a market out there. As I mentioned, Informed Sport has grown on a very encouraging basis. We now have more than 1,200 certified products from 307 brands across the world. And the benefits of it are quite simple. For For a brand, they are able to communicate to their customers, the consumers, that their products have been manufactured to high quality standards and also tested for banned substances. Once they have a product certified on the program, they can use the logo on the product, as you can see from this picture on the right here. And we will also create a product page on the Informed Sport website where there's details of the product, there's images, and most specifically, there are the tested batches. So that an athlete or a consumer can cross-reference the batch they're using with what's on the website to make absolutely sure that, that what they're using has been tested and is clean. It also provides, very important internal quality controls for the brands. They know their products are clean. They know they've gone through a third-party assessment. So it creates a very high level of confidence for the customer as well. An exciting development early this year was the launch of our Informed Sport mobile app. Again, this is very important for athletes and consumers to be able to make very convenient and simple searches looking for products that are certified, looking for batches that have been tested. They can use the QR code and they can essentially get confidence that those products are clean, those batches are clean, and also it allows athletes to perform their due diligence. However, our second finished product program is Informed Choice, and it has many similarities with Informed Sport, but it is essentially for the wider supplements industry. It does not have such a strong association with the sports nutrition and sports supplements industry. Essentially, it allows supplements and nutrition brands to show their customers, again, the consumers, that the product has been made to high quality standards. We make a very thorough assessment before we certify it. And also we will then test it on a regular basis for contamination. Again, it's a global program. We have approximately 430 products which are certified now in the program. And this is with 117 different brands. Again, it's important because we know from research and from feedback and from our own testing, we test approximately 23,000 samples every year. We know that some of those samples can be contaminated with substances banned in sports, but there are also, it's important to know that there's no heavy metals in there, pesticides, etc., etc. And the reasons they get contaminated are similar for why we have informed choice. It can happen through the ingredients, the raw materials. It can happen within the facility, and it can also happen because there are, disreputable brands. And the benefits again are similar to Informed Sport. It allows the brands to show their consumers that the products have been manufactured to high quality standards and are tested on a regular basis. They can use the logo on the products. We will also publish all the details of the product on the Informed Choice website. And the brands know that their products are clean, and again, they've had that third-party assessment. It's all about confidence, and Informed Choice also provides a very high level of confidence to consumers and to brands within the industry.
So if that's the finished product programs covered, could you talk to me a little bit about Informed Ingredient?
Yes, of course. As I mentioned earlier on, we created some distinction between our programs early this year, and one of the newly launched programs is Informed Ingredient. And this essentially allows suppliers to show their customers, so the sports nutrition brands and the manufacturers, so it's a B2B program, that they have in place very good quality systems, and that that their products, the ingredients are tested on a regular basis to ensure integrity. Again, it's important because we, similar to what I mentioned earlier on, we know that ingredients or raw materials can be one of the main causes of contamination. Now, the sports nutrition and the supplements industry is all about innovation, and they're, excuse me, they're always trying to find the latest ingredient which will, give them a competitive edge over their rivals, or will, provide either that health or that performance advantage. But we also know that there are a lot of plant-based ingredients, and these are being used more and more these days, that unfortunately they are very complex, and they can contain naturally occurring banned substances. We're learning more and more about these ingredients on a weekly basis, and it's very important that ingredient suppliers are also aware that their ingredients, through no fault of their own, can contain banned substances. But we also know that in the production process of an ingredient, contamination can happen as well, similar to a finished product when it's been manufactured. We currently have 49 certified ingredients from 13 countries, so the response has been very, very encouraging, and we have a number of ingredients going through the certification process. And that's because the benefits to them are very, very clear. It allows them to communicate to their customers, so it's a B2B program, to communicate to their customers that their products, the ingredients, have been manufactured to high standards and are tested on a regular basis. And again, it has marketing benefits in terms of using the logo, us listing it on our websites. But also equally important is that the raw material suppliers, they need to know for their own quality controls, their internal quality controls, that their products are clean. And they've had that assessment by a third-party company like LGC. As with all our programs, it provides confidence, whether it's confidence to B2B or it's confidence in terms of their own quality controls. So that's informed ingredients. The fourth program in Informed now is what we call Informed Manufacturer, and this was launched earlier this year to allow manufacturing facilities or manufacturers of sports nutrition or indeed of ingredients to show that, again, they have high quality systems in place, and that their facility is tested on a regular basis to make sure there is no contamination. We have 36 certified manufacturers from 11 different countries, and again, we are receiving a significant amount of interest from manufacturers in many other countries. Again, it's important because research has shown that poor quality controls within the facility are one of the main reasons for products contamination. So we support the facility to try and eliminate any chance of there being contamination, and that way that gives them the confidence to communicate that to their customers. And again, they can do this through a range of different logo use and website listing, and that's a very good advantage for their marketing. From a commercial perspective, there is also a good advantage because manufacturers that are certified on Informed Manufacturer, if they are then manufacturing a product, a finished product for Informed Sport or Informed Choice, those brands will get a 50% discount on the certification fees. So as well as there being strong benefits in the B2B perspective, it also allows them to offer some commercial benefits for their customers. And equally, it provides that confidence. The facility will know that there is very little chance of their facility being contaminated. They have a very thorough assessment by a third party, and it provides that confidence which they need to be able to communicate to their customers.
So I understand there are other companies that also test and certify products. How do the Informed services differ from these other programs?
That's a very good question, and possibly the best way of answering it is by explaining what we do not permit, what LGC does not allow through its, particularly with its finished product programs, Informed Sport. So we do not allow any misleading label or website statements. We don't permit our customers to say it's 100% banned substance free. We don't allow them to say it's WADA approved. There's no such thing as WADA approved because WADA do not have an approval process for supplements. They stay clear of giving too much advice around athletes using supplements. And we know from a scientific perspective, it's not possible to say that a product is 100% substance free or a sample is banned substance free. We test a small sample of significant batch sizes or batch volumes, and to be able to say it's an absolute 100% is just not possible. So we resist that. There are other practices we don't also permit, such as composite testing. This is when customers and brands will ask us, oh, can we send you a sample from 10 different batches, you put them all together and just test that composite sample. We don't allow that because it dilutes the efficacy. Similarly, we don't allow bulk testing where we test, let's just say a mother batch of like 100 tons, and then they'll take smaller batches off that. We don't permit that again because it reduces the efficacy. And we don't allow any misleading websites listings on things that say referring to our customers as, you know, testing all of their batches and things like that. We list every batch that we test, and for Informed Sport, it's every single batch. And we don't permit things like skip lot testing for Informed Sport either, because again, we have these very thorough testing schedules which all of our brands must stick to. So essentially, we provide absolute transparency around all 4 of our Informed programs, whether it's our customers, whether it's consumers, whether it's their customers, whether it's stakeholders in sport, anti-doping. They know exactly what is involved in each one of these programs, which is vitally important for them because, you know, we are finding more and more brands, manufacturers, ingredient suppliers are using the programs, and therefore the consumers and their customers must have absolute faith in what they're investing in. And it's for reasons like this that we have been able to develop a wide range of stakeholder partnerships. And we're delighted that the most recent one of those is with the International Testing Agency, the ITA. This essentially is an organisation which was set up a couple of years ago by the World Anti-Doping Agency, or with the support of the World Anti-Doping Agency and the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, whereby they provide the anti-doping testing and programs, education, etc., for a whole range of sports across the world now. And you know, they recognise Informed Sport, and Informed Sport is a sponsor of their monthly webinar for athletes and administrators in sport, etc. So all in all, the Informed programs are about providing confidence, providing high quality assurance, providing unique testing, and also providing a range of services for different stakeholders in sport.
It's been a really difficult 18 months around the world for many businesses. So how has the pandemic impacted LGC supplement services?
I would say it's quite an interesting question, because certainly it has been a difficult time for many people and many businesses across the world. But what we have found is that there is a greater focus now on consumers wanting to look after their health, whether that's to improve their fitness or to improve their ability to resist getting ill and having higher levels of strength and resistance. So we're actually finding that our supplements testing services have received a boost during the pandemic. You know, we're getting more and more interest from across the world, and certainly this has been very encouraging. And you know, we've been working hard with our customers to try and improve things on a regular basis.
And I guess, what about the future? Are there any other services in the pipeline that ESSNA members might be interested in?
Yes, and hopefully we will be able to make some announcements in the next month or two. We've been looking very closely at the growth in CBD products across the world, particularly those CBD products which are focusing on the athlete market as their target market. And we've also been looking at providing some services to the protein products. As you know, trend in protein has been around for a few years now, and there's a strong focus on being able to verify that the protein levels in the product are what they say they are, but also verifying what the source of that protein is as well. So we're looking at supporting the industry on those two levels, in CBD and also in protein, and hopefully we'll be able to make some exciting announcements in the next couple of months.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Terence.